So I know what you probably all are thinking. Hey, Orange, it's been a while since you last played this game. How are we even going to remember where we left off? Go check out the last video if you guys don't remember. We're still playing as Becca, so I remember that much. I'm going to go back and watch the old video, last video after this. Because I don't even quite remember where we left off. As I'm playing this, let me just state something. I am playing this, it is... What? Yesterday was the 4th of July, so today is July 5th. It has been multiple weeks now since I last played this game. Right? Let me just state that. Last time I played this game was the 16th. So I played this game longer ago than the video itself is coming out. Last time I played this game was so long ago. The video probably is going to come out in a week from now, from when I'm recording this video. That's crazy, though. Because for you guys, the video probably came out like 2-3 weeks ago. That's crazy. Alright. Let's just play. Despite my best efforts in keeping this morning's events from surfacing in my mind, it sticks. In a way, everything today simply feels like a reminder. Every conversation, regardless of how casual, every topic, no matter how mundane it seems, I blame the news entirely for this. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, the news. Of what happened. Some crazy stuff happened. Recent happenings brought quite a few interesting stories to everyone's attention. Mostly superstitious talk of death. When locals talk about death here, anyone can sure as hell count on someone bringing up that mansion Isabel sold not a few weeks ago. Even my own students won't stop yapping about it. I think it's even worse then, when it was put back up in the market. Now, these are more stories. If this is the world reminding me of what matters, or simply because the atmosphere around this time of the year calls for it, I'd rather take the latter. At least then I can be sure people will forget about it in favor of another set of holidays after. Nevertheless, and this may be a painful thing to admit, but listening to them is a pleasant distraction while waiting for Ashton's call. I hope he didn't forget. The school day's about to end soon.
No, that's got nothing with what I heard.
You always hear stuff. I'm not sure if half of them's even real.
No, really. Rowan knows about it. He used to be in the same class with them.
I can hear you from back here, you know.
Whatever, Rowan.
Yo, I'm gonna hope that these are high school kids. I thought she was teaching, like, elementary kids. Those are not elementary kids.
Anyway, the story goes like this. There were 3 of them. They entered the mansion on a dare, and they were all never seen again.
That did happen, dude. That did happen, though. If you remember in Marianne's story, that happened. We found the camera footage when she went into that thing. I can't believe I remember that, by the way. That was like 2 months ago. When I played that, I don't know how long ago it came out. I can't even remember. Yeah, if you guys remember when Marianne went in and found that, yeah.
No one knows what happened to them. Up to this day. Scary shit, man.
Cock and bull story. Calling it now.
No, you don't get it. Why don't you ask Miss Gales then? Better yet, why don't you go inside the place? I'm betting my allowance you can't do it.
Their talk immediately halts when I look up, all of them suddenly pretending to be engrossed in their current activity. Still, a word to put a stopper to this nonsense is needed. Creativity and imagination fostered by their stories is one thing, but reckless ideas should be corrected before anything potentially tragic comes from it.
Back to your worksheets, everyone. And I don't want to hear any talk of dares or going inside that mansion. It's private property now. You'd all better stay away from it before...
At the noise, a whole lot of them go silent. The whole lot of them go silent. See what America does, bro. I would have read that correctly. The whole lot of them. Now, you know someone's British when they say the lot, or you lot, Or the whole lot of them. In America, you'd say something much different than that. I don't know how you'd word it now that I've gone on this. Anyways, the whole lot of them go silent. You can almost hear a pin drop. The look on their faces would have made for a funny picture, but that's irrelevant at the moment. If that is a student loitering around, someone's going to be in trouble.
I'll be back. If you're done, you can leave your worksheets on my desk. Keep the noise to a minimum while I'm gone, okay?
I can sense their eyes on me as I walk out the door. A muted kind of anticipation. A bit unnerving, but it's far more agreeable than the feeling of being watched I've been enduring these past few days. Class is still in session for most of the rooms. In a few hours, once the bell rings... In a few hours? I thought you said class was almost out. However, this place will once again be filled with busy chatters and footballs. An everyday cycle in itself. But for the moment, I let the silence guide me, my ears focusing on whatever sounds there are or there will be, searching for that distant clanging of metal. A good minute passes, and for the portion of it, only my steps echoes through the hall. And another. I'm about to turn around when the sound of it halts my footsteps. It's a little muffled and infrequent, but grows louder with each interval. With the hallway devoid of people, if I don't put a stop to it soon, it will start to disturb the other classes still going on. Looking for it doesn't take long. All I do is follow the racket, and shortly I'm standing in front of a non-discreet row of unoccupied lockers. And from inside them, sitting in the middle, comes the noise. Annoyingly disruptive now that I'm facing it. Like someone pounding on the metal door from the inside, hoping to get out. Leaning forward, I try to glimpse through the horizontal slats of whatever's causing it. But in this light, only darkness greets me in another round of clanging. Louder than the previous one. More desperate. I've heard stories before from other schools, from a few colleagues who had to deal with it once or twice. Although personally I've never encountered one myself, and I can only thank the heavens I haven't yet, but...
This is another kid some other student stuffed in a locker.
With a huff, I straighten up and study it briefly with a frown. Without delay, I reach for its handle, and at once it stops, immediately replaced by the muffled sound of a mobile phone ringing. I give the door a few taps before taking my attention away. A second, another. When nothing or no one responds, I finally avert my eyes and pull out my mobile. Ashton's voice greets me from the other end of the line, oddly cheerful in light of this morning's matters. Or maybe because I'm just expecting some grave or serious news from him. Instead, I get this.
Hey, Becca.
Well, you sound happy.
I do? My voice still sounds the same to me.
There are only two things I know of that could be the reason for that tone. Sweets, or he's gotten a good lead in his case. From the sound of it, I'm going to assume it's the former, since lately that case is all that's running inside his head. If there's ever a third one, I've never heard of it, yet. It can only be one of the two.
Ignore that. How's Isabella?
Drove her home a few minutes ago. I think she's sleeping now. Sorry this took a while. Z-Man gave us the puppy eyes after we tried to leave. Had some food prepared for us, apparently. We didn't have the heart to say no.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Is she okay now?
I'm not really sure. She didn't say anything to Zach, but she mentioned a plan to take a few days off from work. It was a passing comment before I left her, so I didn't get to ask.
Must be because of Rose's death.
Could be. It doesn't seem like it from Zach's story, though. He said she was shaking when she got there.
Shaking?
The word triggers a memory from 3 days ago on the way home from her little treat after she sold the mansion. I didn't think much of it at the time, but I won't lie, it scared me. The terrified look on her face, how she sounded when she suddenly screamed.
Still there?
Yeah, I just remembered something. Sorry, don't mind me.
Look, if you can talk to her, get the story out of her. That would be great. She wouldn't talk to Zach or me even when I tried. Maybe she'll speak up if it's you.
I'll give it a go, but I can't promise anything, okay? You know how stubborn she can get.
Yeah, she can be stubborn, that's for
But
sure.
thanks for letting me know about this. If you want, I can get you that ice cream thing you mentioned tonight. As thanks.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Get the ice cream. Get the ice cream, Ashton.
Just as thanks. for all the trouble I've caused today.
Believe me, I'd love to take you up on that offer, but I've got something on my schedule this evening. Maybe some other time? Thanks a lot, Becca.
There's a short pause before he cuts the call from his end. And once again, I'm alone with my thoughts. Let's see how long we can make this pause. I gotta make sure these videos are long enough, so I'm gonna just wait out the pause. I'm just gonna wait out the pause. You know what I mean? just all right. But rather than answers, all I got from it are questions. More of them, one on top of the other, as if the world isn't planning to give me a break anytime soon. But that's a problem I'll tackle later. Right now, I've got students who need to be taught follies of eavesdropping. It's a slightly open door, and their smothered laughter from inside is an indication.
All right, enough eavesdropping. All of you, back to your seats.
Is that your boy? Is that your boyfriend, Miss Gals?
It's none of your business.
He totally is. A quick scuffle follows that comment. If there's a retort prepared at the tip of my tongue, I drop a pretense of letting it loose on them. There's no use arguing with teenagers sometimes. Mysterious as they all are. They're still my kids, though. Rough around the edges, maybe, but still my kids. Shaking my head, I head back to my classroom with a smile, but not before taking a glance at the locker again. It hasn't made a sound since.
Oh, must be the wind.
So without another look, I leave it alone. Holy hell! All in all, the entire school day ends without a hitch. It could have gone better, mind you, but with the exams near and getting out of work before the sun has set, looks as though it's far off dream for now. At least until they're over. Then we have the holidays to look forward to. There really are times when you simply take what you can get for the time being.
Nothing wrong with that.
And all I'm hoping is this will continue until the whole day ends. There's still that promise I made to Ashton, and frankly, the idea alone doesn't sound good. If Isabella didn't talk to them, what makes them think she'll talk to me? It's not like there's a hierarchy, is there? Just because I can handle Isabella's childish tendencies doesn't mean I can do it all the time.
Really, those two give me too much credit.
Nevertheless, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, if only because I'm also worried about her, and both Zachary and Ashton deem it important that somebody gets the story out of her. Here's to hoping it's got nothing to do with that letter, again. I understand if she feels a bit stressed lately, but keeping that story going on for more than a week is... it's bound to get tiring at one point. Seriously, I merely don't want this to end in another argument. God willing, the cafe special will help smoothing things out. After all, it's always been food with her. Or money, but mostly food. At this hour, the cafe is usually filled to the brim with people. That's the reason Isabella and I rarely ever go here during the evenings. It's simply too much of a hassle when we can prepare food for ourselves in the comfort of our homes, and there really isn't much reason to eat out lately. With life going on a busy streak, no time for long lines, better spend that doing something productive, yes?
Lucky there isn't one tonight.
Only a few people are idling around the counter. 4 of them, in fact. A woman in her 60s and a teenager busy with his phone. Both are just waiting to be served their orders. The other 2, a posh-looking man and a child who I immediately recognize as Kylie, appear to have not yet picked anything they want. For some reason, my stare lingers at the guy. Though dressed relatively well and looks harmless, I haven't seen him around these parts before. That is Mr. I don't know. I just know that he's the husband of Hannah, right? So Mr. Wright. Mr. Luke Wright. Yeah. Mr. Luke. I hate you, bro. Someone new in the neighborhood, perhaps? Even so, there's something familiar in him. It feels like I've seen him somewhere before. It also begs the question of why Kylie is with him. Of course, the girl easily takes a liking to anyone who buys her sweets, so... It's both a bit worrisome and unsurprising. Yeah, I'd say it's worrisome. The blonde bloke doesn't look particularly thrilled with the company, though. I tear my eyes away from them soon enough once the guy at the counter appears ready to take my order. That, and I'd also hate to be accused of ogling strangers.
2, evening special. Take out.
He's already punching the order before I even finish. Saying my order out loud is really more for formality's sake and made out of habit. He has known Isabella and I long enough that if we ever drop by here, he already knows it's always because I'm buying dinner for the two of us. I rarely visit here alone if I can help it, but Isabella can sometimes be a bad influence. He gives me a small smile before leaving to prepare my order, while I fish for my wallet when...
Look, you little ankle biter. If I buy you the biggest parfait they have, will you please behave? I would just like 10 minutes of peace and quiet.
Posh-looking man.
You said you'll get me some bread pudding this time.
Yeah, well, darling, they said they ran out of it. Just pick another one so we can be on our way.
Their parfait doesn't look as cute as the one my mom bought me.
Parfait is just ice cream, sweetheart. It'll melt no matter how dainty it appears. In the end, it'll all look like an ugly puddle. Now, come on, just pick one. It could even be the most expensive one on that list. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Oh, what I would give for someone to buy you off my hands right now.
Wow, Luke. What did Kylie do, bro? What? My whole attention instantly snaps back to them in their conversation. Jumping to conclusions isn't something I'm particularly fond of, especially when all I have are bareless assumptions. But you can't really trust a stranger these days. No one around the cafe seems to have noticed his words either. Very suspicious words. Still, I don't move, yet. But my hand has already shifted from my wallet to the book I'm carrying. A hard-bound textbook. Looks harmless, but if a situation calls for it, it might be a good deadly weapon. Might. I haven't gotten the chance to try it anywhere so far. Today could be the day.
Promised.
Look, if you don't want a parfait, how about a Bonifay pie? I'm sure it'll taste just as good as any other bread pudding. I'll even buy you the entire tray. How does that sound?
That's not what you said before.
Well, sweetheart, adults change their minds sometimes.
You said if I come with you, you'll buy me a bread pudding, and I did, and now you won't keep your promise. I want to go home. I miss my mom.
No, darling, if I remember correctly, and I have a good memory, honey. What I said was, if you come quietly with me, I might buy you one. The quiet part didn't happen. Though now that I'm sober, I think this is a bad idea. And I should just ship you someplace else for that peace and quiet.
Oh, that's it. No hesitation. In a few paces, he's within my reach and without warning. I'm slamming the flat area of the book against his call.
Ow.
There's a cry of pain followed by him instantly crouching down, hands nursing the sore spot. Almost comically, if there were a different situation and the safety of a St. Gritty student isn't at stake, I'll probably feel sorry for him. I mean, has anyone seen how thick this book is?
Get behind me, Kylie.
Miss Pink!
It's amusing how fast her expression changes from the pouty one earlier to something that of utter delight upon seeing me. There is no time for any pleasantries, not even quick ones, because soon the man straightens and I'm readying my favorite newfound weapon for another hit. Except this time he's ready, and before I can land another one, his hand shoot up to catch my wrist in a firm hold. And the look on his
Bloody
face...
hell, woman, what's your problem?
To say he's pissed would be a complete understatement. Had I been the weak-willed sort, I'd probably cower under the sharp gaze. But this simply isn't how I roll. If he thinks he can scare me and do as he pleases here just because I'm a woman or whatever his reasons may be, he's got another thing coming for him. So instead I return it to him with the same intensity, with the same venom.
What's my problem? You're the one who has a problem here. Rotten bowbags like you don't deserve the freedom to run this town. What are you doing to this girl?
And why is that any of your business, pray tell?
Oh, it's my business if I make it to be. Now, release me or I'll call the police.
You think that scares me, Daisy?
Why is his nickname Kidnapper?
I have a name, you sleazy douchebag.
Oh, I'm sure.
Sleazy douche! I love that name. His grip on my hand only tightens when I attempt to shake it off. His tone may be dripping with anger and sarcasm, but the gleam in his eyes says it all. He's getting a kick out of this. Riling people up, getting on their nerves, invading their personal space. He knows exactly what and which buttons to push. The nerve of this person, the nerve of this arsehole. If he thinks I'm going to give in this goading, please, he might as well just kiss his story behind. In fact, why not do the most sensible thing right now? Teach him a tough lesson. Hit him where it hurts.
Mister, you have until the count of 5 to let me go and step out of my personal space.
A fair warning. Fairer than I can offer for this people of his kind. I'm already being considerate. Hell, this arsehole doesn't even deserve a warning. If he doesn't listen, well, he's as much responsible for what will happen next as anyone.
Or else what? Such vulgar words coming out of that pretty mouth. A gorgeous flower like you shouldn't even be saying.
Don't say I didn't warn you, Bowbag.
Love that intensity, Daisy. FYI, I like feisty in a woman. It gives them this certain charm. Why don't you?
5.
A second of silence, and without any problem, my leg moves in one fluid motion and delivers a swift, powerful, well-placed kick to his nether regions. Needless to say, the effect is instantaneous. He yelps, abruptly drops his hold on me, and kneels over, howling from the pain. I can see tears forming at the corners of his eyes, too, though the mere sight of it prompts not an ounce of remorse for me. I would have been gentler if he isn't such a dirty little prick with an ego too big for his head. Too bad. Whether this obliterates any chance of him ever procreating remains to be known, but a part of me is already praying he doesn't ever breed after this. We have no need of more of him in this world.
You mad woman!
I warned you, you ass!
Why, this is harassment, I'm telling you! Harassment!
Why do you say it like that, harassment?
Then why don't you tell that to the police once they get here,
You despicable! Whatever you're assuming I am, I'll have you know it's all in your head. None of it's true. You best have that pretty brain of yours checked before that gets worse. What is wrong with you? Is this the face of someone who'd do anything suspicious?
Oh? You don't think a stranger luring an innocent child with promises of sweets before whisking them away from their parents doesn't warrant any suspicion? You have a very funny definition of suspicious, asshole. Maybe you're the one who should have that head of yours checked.
The kid asked me to buy her sweets. You're the one who's suspicious here. I'll have you know, I have a wife!
That much, at least, appears to have a slither of truth to it. He makes a show of brandishing his left hand to my face with much flourish. Sure enough, a wedding ring is there, though all that earned him is an unimpressed glare for me. Immediately, a small part of me starts to feel sorry for whatever poor woman married this sod. I don't understand why he has to bring her up either, as if the mention of her alone will magically present a solution to his problem. She must truly be a remarkable woman if she can handle a dirtbag like him.
And even my wife of all people in this bloody city, has never, I'm telling you, accused me of such a scandalous thing! You crazy woman!
Married or not, you're still a sleaze. Honestly, I feel...
Miss Pink, why are you fighting with my teal?
Whatever word's still left to be said here dies on my tongue. Same thing goes for the sleaze. Besides the sounds Kylie gawking at us with the same curious stare she often brings with her. I know that look all too well. A precocious child through and through. She doesn't say anything further. Her gaze simply moves between us, eyeing us both carefully, clearly anticipating an answer. From my experience, when it gets like this with children her age, it's a sure sign they won't leave you until you've given them an answer they're satisfied with. Lying won't do either. It's dissolved into a shouting match, for heaven's sake. And did you just say Tio? Something falls straight to the pit of my stomach at that. But my tone is gentle when I finally address her, void of any apprehension and what might be the first sense of embarrassment. I pointedly ignore the latter. It can very well be just the hunger speaking.
Kylie, sweetie, do you know this oaf?
Yeah, he's Teal Luke.
Right at the moment, my brain stops. Every line of thought, every argument I still have against the man beside me dissipates in a haze. I missed all of it. One memory gets triggered from a few days ago.
Tio? The one you mentioned before? The uncle? The guy Rowan wanted to impress? Or was that a dare? I'm sorry, I can't recall. Is it the one who promised he'll take Big Brother someplace cool?
Yeah, the one in the same. Don't you know who he is?
I sure as hell don't, darling, because if I do, I wouldn't have let everything I've said earlier come out of my mouth.
My Tio Luke, gazillionaire extraordinaire, am I? No, the fairy godfather.
He's your godfather. That's nice.
The one and only. Did I get that right, Tio?
More than right, sweetheart. I'm sure Miss Pink here understood everything you said quite perfectly.
Whatever it is that landed at the bottom of my stomach prior has shot straight up to my face and stayed there. Alright. You know what? Let's save the game. Let me save. Oh, I already saved it. Alright. Yes. Load game. Yes. Alright, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Like and subscribe.